Okay, now let's talk about some different techniques that we can use when using Photoshop in a print scenario. In other words, sort of a Photoshop print workflow, if you will. So in other words, in the next few exercises, we're going to see how to use Photoshop along with InDesign. And I want to start things off by showing you how to import and update Photoshop content inside an InDesign file. I find myself here inside Photoshop, and the first thing that I want to do is I want to open up our project file. So I'm just going to double click on our gray background. You can choose File, Open if you wish, and then head into your project files folder. And go ahead and grab one of our project files. You can use whichever project file you want. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with bridge.jpg. So go ahead and pop this guy open. This is in Photoshop, of course. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to save this guy as a Photoshop document, a .psd. Of course, I could import a JPEG into an InDesign layout if I wanted to, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is properly set up for commercial reproduction, if you will. So the first thing that I'll do before I save this guy out as a Photoshop file is I'm going to change his color mode. Right now, he's an RGB file, and if I'm going to put this on a printing press, then I have to make sure that it's indeed a Cmyk document, right? So I'm going to head up to the image menu and then down to mode and then simply down to Cmyk color. Now, as a side note here, normally myself anyway, this conversion from RGB to Cmyk is one of the last things I do. So I've already done all my color correction and any image touch up and all that kind of stuff. All of that happens for me anyway in the RGB color space. And then one of the final things I do before I drop the image into my print layout is convert the guy to Cmyk. So go ahead and choose Cmyk color. We're going to get a warning here. I'm going to simply click on OK. You may have gotten the same warning as well. And then next up, what I'm going to do is simply save the file as a .psd. So File and then down to Save As. And I'm just going to save this guy into the Project Files folder. And of course, I'm going to switch my file format to Photoshop. Okay, great. Go ahead and click on Save. Save that guy out. Now, I already have InDesign running in the background. If you have InDesign installed, go ahead and launch it, and you'll probably be met with the welcome screen here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a brand new blank InDesign file. You can do so on this welcome screen just by clicking on Document underneath Create New, or if you don't see this welcome screen, you can simply head up to the File menu and then down to New and then across to Document or Command-N or Control-N. All right. Either way, you're going to wind up here inside the New Document dialog box. Make sure your page size is set to letter, 8.5 by 11. The orientation is portrait. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And then, of course, the next thing that I want to do now is I want to go and import the saved out bridge Photoshop file, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Command D or Control D on my keyboard. You could choose File Place if you wish. And I'll head into the project files. And there's bridge.psd right there. Bridge.psd, bring this guy in. Okay, I get my loaded icon there, and all I'm going to do here is just single click, and that'll bring my bridge file, my bridge image into InDesign. Great, awesome. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is how you can go about editing this file back in Photoshop and then have it update inside InDesign. So let's go and do that.